So it's currently about 8:55 a.m. Um, on a Saturday morning, January 20th, 2018. Currently sitting in my backyard. Um, I'm I'm always awake at this time. It's just that I haven't I haven't been going for walks in the morning, even stepping outside my backyard off my front yard early in the morning, unless I take my daughter to school, but that's not that's that's once every few weeks that I take her to school. Normally someone else takes her to school. Well, mornings are extremely hard for me to actually wake up and get out of bed. But last night around 11 p.m., a little bit later, I got hit by a vertical spell. Vertical where everything was spinning. It only lasted for like maybe a minute or less, and then after that I started having the dizziness. The dizziness meaning off balance. Everything was like tilting to one side. Feel like the floor is moving like you're on a boat. And I also feel like everything was like kind of moving but not really, like everything was slowly moving, but just like a couple inch here and there. And my vision was jumpy, like everything was kind of everything was just shaking. And I decided to go sit in my kitchen for a few minutes. When I sat down at the kitchen table, it was it kind of made it worse, but I expect it to get worse when I'm sitting in the kitchen, because when I'm dizzy, I'm off balance. The kitchen is one of the worst places for me. I don't know why. And then after I sat in the kitchen, I sat down in the garage, and when I sat in the garage, it just felt completely strange. I felt completely detached from my surroundings. But that detached feeling doesn't get to me. I kind of got used to it. It's just when you're dizzy and then you have that detached feeling, it's even worse. Then I started getting the migraine, the headaches, and lately I've been getting a lot of headaches. The head pressure, ever since I've been starting to eat more sugar, I've been getting more headaches, more migraine, upset stomach. And when I stopped eating them, for the longest time, I wasn't getting much headaches. I mean, I was getting headaches, but I wasn't getting migraines. And when I did get headaches, they weren't like really bad headaches. They would only last for a couple of minutes, not like half an hour to an hour. But also my breathing been off. I mean, like sometimes I wake up, I'm like, feel like I'm suffocating, like I can't catch my breath. I feel like I went out and ran for a mile or 2 or 3 miles. It's like my breath is all the way up there, and my body's and my lung is right there trying to catch my breath. And then when you can't catch your breath, you feel like you can't breathe, you know, you get that sensation in your head and your brain that there's not enough oxygen in your brain. And when I was sitting in the kitchen, I don't know, I felt like I was sinking to the ground, like, you know, like the floor was dragging me down. But lately, I've been having this really strange sensation in my head, like especially in this part of my head on the top right side. Um, it's been feeling like, what I said, I can't feel like it's filled with liquid, and then it's like when I touch it, it just feels just like a tingling sensation, vibrating sensation. Sometimes numbness, sometimes it feels like a buzzing feeling on that side of the head. I don't know. But you know, I think I'm just gonna go for a walk right now. I'm already awake. I haven't been going for walks early in the morning at this town, so yeah, I think I'm just gonna go for a walk. Until I'm still sleepy. I don't really know what time I fell asleep last night, but yeah, I think I'm just gonna go for a walk. Maybe I should have worn my sunglasses. The sun is like in my face. But I'm happy that I'm walking right now. And it's early in the morning. Am I dizzy? Yes. Am I getting off balance? Yes. But I'm just gonna take my time and slow down my darts. I think when you slow down your darts, whatever you can do, it does help. So as you can see, I keep smiling because I had a bad night last night. I had a bad day yesterday. I've been having lots and lots of anxiety this past 2 weeks, 2 3 weeks. But you know what? What what do I keep saying? I said, as long as I'm outside, I'm still going outside, no matter how bad I feel, no matter how hard it is. I'll go outside still. I still haven't missed a day. There are days that I say, what, forget it, just miss a day. But that's like the negative thought. And then once I say, what, forget it, just miss a day. It's just one day, and then instantly that negative thought say, what you think you're doing, get your butt up and go outside, go walk to the corner, even though you feel like you can't do it. Because once you do something that you think you can't do, your mind will be like, okay, your negative mind, your subconscious mind will be like, okay, he's going against us, you know, and then the more you do it, the easier it gets for you. You're still gonna have your down days, you know. I mean, I still get my down days, you know, my bad days, but you know, if you have a bad day, a bad moment, you know, it's still early, you know, even if it's like, let's say you had a entire bad day, you know, as soon as you woke up and it's 11:30 p.m. and you can't sleep, you know what? Go outside, go for a quick walk around the block, you know. If you know, just take a flashlight if you can't, if you're not used to walking in the dark. uh, if you have a dog, walk your dog in the middle of the night, you know. In during spring a couple of times I went for a walk, riding my bike in the middle of the night a couple of times, you know. A few minutes before midnight, you know, I said to myself, I haven't gone for a walk all day, I've been feeling bad all day, and it was like around 11:50, 11:55, just 5-10 minutes before midnight. I went for a bike ride in the middle of the night, you know. I have a little light on my bike, went on it, went rode my bike around the block once, and went home and says, see, I had a bad, almost all day was bad until I went up and rode my bike, you know. So sometimes when I'm walking, I have to remind myself, don't pay attention to like how I'm feeling. If I look at something and it looks like it's moving and it's windy, remind myself it's moving. The leaves on the tree is moving because it's windy, you know. If something moves and I feel off balance, you know, I just have to remind myself it's just anxiety. It's nothing more. That's it. I know it's easier said than done, but I have to remind myself every day. You know, last night I had a strange dream. I talk about this. I have a learning disability. I had it since I was in middle school, and you know, it affected me for years. Even now, it still gets to me, but it doesn't make me feel depressed. You know, it's a learning disability. You know, I learn better when someone's teaching me one-on-one, and you know, I get hands-on training. I can learn it. But when the teacher is like talking and like teaching everybody, like a classroom with like 20 to 30 people, you know, it's harder for me to focus on what the teacher's saying for some reason. It's not that I don't want to learn, it's just my mind just starts drifting off somewhere else. But you know, as far as the dream last night, I dreamed that I actually went to I went to like an adult school and homeschooling, and I also dreamed that I have panic attacks, anxiety, but I was still able to, you know, manage to go to school, home, and you know, like places where I can get like tutoring and stuff like that to get. I had like adult school online classes, and I even went classes in groups in a little school, like a adult school program. And you know, it's when I woke up, I don't know, for some reason I was just happy. I was happy because, you know, I dreamed that I was doing stuff even though I was having panic attacks. You know, sure, you don't want to have panic attacks, but for me to actually go to school, even doing homeschooling, and you know, was looking for a job inside in my dreams. Like I mentioned, it was a dream, not something real. But I don't really dream about me having panic attacks that often. But it made me happy because, you know, I was dreaming I was doing all this stuff while I have panic attacks. But anyways, yeah, I'm about to head back inside.